Hello you guys, my name is Mai. So right now I'm gonna show you guys about my study guideline that let you guys achieve the straight A and 4.0 in the college. So actually I have like 7 points that I want to talk about today. So I hope you guys enjoy my video. So let's get started. So my number one is strong commitment. Actually, before the quarter start, I'm going to ask myself like, what do I want for this quarter? What grade do I want? So I told myself that, oh, I gonna get A. I gonna get 4.0 in this class, and I write down the like grade that I want and put it like in the sticky note and put it on the wall in front of my desk. Actually, it's do that to motivate myself to study hard and study smart at the same time, because sometimes when I study a lot, like I feel, oh, terrible, I don't want to study anymore and feel tired. I just want to go to sleep directly when I back home. So at that time when I sit in front of my desk, I see like, oh, I gonna get A, so I need to study. And then I keep forward. I try to study at that time. It's helpful for me, and I do that since I was in high school, and it's very motivate me to get what I want. So it's strong commitment is very useful, important for your study. So I hope you guys to get like strong commitment to write down what you want and put it on in front of your desk. So it's very helpful, I promise. Tip number 2. So for the tip number 2, I want you guys to read the syllabus very clearly, because syllabus is kind of like the key or the purpose for the like learning outcome, and also like the purpose for the instructor that want us to follow what they want. So at that time, in the beginning of the quarter, I like reading the syllabus. Like I take 3 classes, I read all the 3 syllabus, and I gonna figure out like what is the purpose for the instructor. So at that time, I can like prepare ahead. I can like know what chapter do I need to focus more, because like some section I don't understand it. I need to learn a lot, like learn more on this section. So at that time, we understand like, oh, this class is easy for us or this class is hard for us. And by the way, in the syllabus in the college, usually they give us like the percentage that let us know like, oh, this percent, like 95% you will got 4.0. So at that time you can check your grade. Often time you have to check it, because if you didn't check it, when your grade drop so bad, it's not easy for us to improve your grade, right? So when you check it very often, you're gonna know, oh, my grade is dropped right now, I need to do or work hard on school. So it's help you to like take care and prepare more in your college. So it's very helpful too. So I think like reading syllabus also like the good way to get like the good grade. So tip number 3, study ahead. For me, based on my experience, I always like study before the school, like before the instructor, about like 1 or 2 weeks ahead, because like at that time I have a lot of time in the beginning of the quarter. I try to read through all the chapter, and then I will figure out like what section that I need to focus more in class actually. So at that time it's the good way, like I can say like it's the study smart, because when you know like, oh, this session like maybe like for example like 5 or 10 chapter is about like 50 section that we need to focus on. So about like 45 section that I understand clearly, and 5% that 5 section that I feel like, oh, I need to focus more at that time. So at that time when I was in class, I feel like, oh, I can carefree. Sometimes I don't need to focus too much in class because like some section I know exactly and I understand what it is. So at that time, like you feel like, oh, not pushing ourselves too much on study, and you feel like happy or great pressure when you study at the same time. And whenever like I know like, oh, in this section I don't understand, you know what, I very pay attention in this class so much. If not, I gonna like go to ask the instructor for help to explain me more what I don't understand, what the question. And when you read the textbook before class, you're gonna mark like your question, like, oh, this part I don't understand, why we get it. So we can explain, like like you can let your instructor explain you what it is. So it's very useful when you understand and like I don't know what it's called actually. Let me thinking first. Oh, like when you read it before class, so it's gonna be easy for you to catch the main point for the instructor explanation. Number 3. Oh, number 4. Number 4, I asking for help. I can say that in class I'm not paying attention too much. Sometimes I scroll like notification on social media because like some point I understand it's made me getting boring. I know it's not a good habit in class, but it's my style actually. And so some part that I misunderstand it, and you know what, in class I can say like all of my classmates, they kind of like slow than me, so it's made me getting boring in class. But when I have like the specific question, I always go to the instructor office hour and ask them about the question and let them explain the point. Sometimes I want them to explain me the last section in the quarter, because like the last section in the quarter is the hard one that I don't understand what it is, especially like application. So I'm like kind of, I'm not good at it. That's true. So it's too hard for me. So I always ask them about what it is and let them explain me specifically instead of like generally abroad in class. And one more thing, I always like ask them for help about like extra practice, because you know what, I take many math class, so some class they like the instructor doesn't offer us a lot of like practice. But if we have time and we want to practice more, you can go to meet like instructor and tell them like, oh, I would like to have more extra credit, so can you give me some? Okay, one of my instructor, she gave me like the instruction, like instructor edition book for me to practice more. So it's very useful in class, so you're gonna like know more about the section, you understand more about like the lesson. So it's very useful, I promise. So you should practice more during the class, especially some point that you don't understand. You don't be shy to ask them about help, because like, you know, sometimes I have a lot of stupid question and also have a lot of stupid mistake, so I gonna ask them all the time. I know like some instructor get boring on me, you know. I always ask like the silly question that for myself I know that it's the silly one, but I don't care. I just want to get the answer. I like go to school for study, right? So we need to understand what it is. So it's my style. So let's move to the number 5. So number 5 is results. For the college, I have a lot of work. I have a lot of activity that I need to do. I can say like I am the vice president of the Cambodia club, so it's gonna be a lot of things to do. I am an honor student program, so I have a lot of projects that I need to clear it, complete it. And also like I have to take like, you know what, all my friends know that I take a lot of classes. I take more than 3 classes, but next quarter I'm gonna take only 3 classes, but I want to do like 2 honor project. So at that time, sometimes we need the resource. We need the resource is very like useful for our study, because like in class sometimes it's not like, I can say like the teacher explanation is not enough for me, so I gonna find resource. We can search from YouTube video, we can search from like the website, we can ask about the result from the instructor, and also we can ask for friend. Most of the results that I got, mostly I got from my friend, because like he gave me a lot of results, and then it's very useful. And sometimes I don't need to spend too much on the question that I need to do. Like I understand, because like I know how to do it exactly, but I need to do it because it's assignment. But when I have a result, I can like, okay, I do like some, and then I use a result to help me some. So it's very like self time, and it's kind of the study smart as well. But it's the question that you don't understand it, you're gonna need the resource to explain you about what it is, and it's very helpful when you do like the review test or something. So I think resource is very important for your study too. So let's move to okay, number 6, review the lessons, because you know what, when you review the lesson, you're gonna easy for you to memorize like the previous lesson, and when you start to the new section, you're gonna like, oh, you don't miss the new lesson, the old like the previous one. So for me, especially in college, I don't need to practice a lot of questions, especially in math class. You know, right, in high school I practice a lot of math questions, so it's not from like, it's helped me to memorize all the like the concept of each math question. But right now I can say like do only assignment, only the homework question, that's it. So it's about like 10 questions. So how could I remember, how could I understand, how could I like memorize it? The thing is, I need to review it. When I review it, I can say like I don't need to practice too much, I don't need to spend time on practice. But when I start the new section, I gonna remember it by myself. So it's very helpful and self-time. Even like, oh, I practice like 100 questions for this section every month, I gonna crazy, because I have time, I need time to do many class assignments. I cannot focus only one class. So meaning like you need to review the lesson. It's very helpful for you to understand more, and like to review like what you used to study before. And if you have like something that you understand, you can ask the instructor before class. I know, instructor before class, before the class starts. So it's gonna easy for you to start the new section, because sometimes one section to one section have the connection. So if you understand clearly about the first one, you're gonna easy to understand the second one as well. So it's my tip too, because I always write down like separately about like question and answer and the practice. So when I read it, it's gonna be easy and understand more what it is. So also stay organized on the textbook and the notebook and like the folder. So when you review the lesson, you're gonna be easy to find out what it is. So let's move to the last tip that I show you guys. So the last one I want to tell you guys about, like, it's very important, right? It's very important since I was in high school. I always practice before the final, about like 2 weeks before. So I can't have a lot of time to practice like all the lessons, and I practice from like the small, like the easy one until like the difficult one, because you know what, in the exam, in the final exam, the instructor or professor doesn't put like give us a lot of the difficult question. Sometimes they give us like the easy, sometimes like the medium level. So if you practice only the difficult one, you're gonna miss the easy one, and you will like lose point on it, and then you will think like, oh, this one is a stupid mistake, and you feel like guilty, oh, I didn't got 4 because of the stupid mistake. So I don't want you guys be like that, you know. So meaning like you need to spend enough time, like 2 weeks before the final week is the good timing for you guys to practice for the like all the lessons, all the section, and then you will get 4.0. And I always do that. And the thing to plan ahead before 2 weeks, you can set like the time, like, oh, this day I gonna do this section, this day I gonna do this section. When you do like the to-do list, like I call it target, you're gonna be like, oh, everything is organized, recognized, like I think we realize that it's very useful. We don't stress too much, like, oh, today what I gonna do, right? So you save time. So I hope you guys like do this and get like 4 as what you want. So thank you guys to watch this video, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and give me like the thumbs up. And